Hey everyone, it's Phil, Angler Fishing here. Today I'm going to do a really quick question and answer. I'm always getting asked, what is my favorite lure to fish in Newport Harbor? I've got a lot of lures that I like to fish there. I mean, you can use a lot of different things, catch those spotted bay bass and sand bass, calico bass, and even a halibut. But hands down, I've had it in one of my other videos, it's got to be that 1/4 ounce round head, lead head with a 4-inch jerk shad. Doesn't matter what color. 5-inch jerk shad would be my second choice, but anything like the fluke with the double tail that sticks out, that is definitely by far my favorite lure. And the reason I like to use it is because of the fact that it's very versatile. I can fish it on the bottom, I can fish it fast on top, I can fish it midwater, I can drop it next to pilings. I can troll with it. I mean, slow troll, but not fast troll. But I can, so it's very versatile. You can use it for everything. You cover all the zones from the bottom all the way up to the surface, and you catch just about any fish on that lure. I mean, aside from maybe sharks and rays and, a couple of other ones. But, you do have a pretty good opportunity to catch a lot of fish on that lure. I'm going to go over a couple steps here really quick with you just to explain how I'm fishing it and the different zones that I fish, and how to cover more water when you're using that lure, so you can really get a lot of area covered and give you a better chance at catching a fish. So I'm going to do that on the board here in a minute and just kind of explain it. If you guys have any questions at the end there, put them in my comments. Like I said, I try to do the best to answer everybody. If I don't get back to you right away, I promise I will try to get back to you, or ask me again and put it on the comments, and I'll definitely address it. Anyways, guys, here we go. Okay, so I'm going to explain this really quick. Try to go as fast as I can. I'm just trying to make this a very short video. But when I'm using that lead head, I want to cover 3 zones. I want to cover the surface up here, I want to cover the mid-level zone, and then we have the bottom. Those are the 3 areas that we can use, basically covering the whole spectrum to get anything from mackerel down to bass or halibut, depending on where the fish are leveled off at. Sometimes even calicos, bass like to suspend in the middle, and the only way to get them is to cast to the bottom, reel it fast, and bring it up, and bring it through them. So we'll get to that. First off, one of the main things with fishing the jig that I love is that it does drop straight down. When you use the round head, it goes straight down. What you have to remember though is when you're casting, say you're here in a boat and you cast over to the piling, what we want to have is we want that lure to drop straight down. So when you cast it by the piling, it gets close, keep your bail open. Let the line go out, feed it out so that that lure is going straight down, because what happens is if you cast here and you close your bail, the lure is going to do a pendulum effect like this, and it's actually going to come away from the piling. If you close the bail, the line's going to tighten up and it's going to pull it away and bring it away from the piling. You don't want to do that. You want to try to drop it straight down, because the fish are going to be right around this piling, up all along the whole top of this. You can hit them from here all the way down. So you want that lure to drop straight down. Keep your bail open, but watch your line, because what will happen is if the fish takes it, it'll just be falling, it'll twitch. It means the fish grabbed it. Then you close it and then set the hook. Sometimes it'll fall away to the bottom. It'll hit right at the base, and the fish will either grab it right away, and you won't even know, or as soon as you move it one little bit, the fish is probably watching it. He's going to grab it. Okay, so when you're fishing pilings and using this straight drop down technique, you got to be very sensitive to what's going on with the line. Watch it, because that's going to make a difference of whether you get some fish or not. So the other technique I like to use is just basically cranking it across the surface up here. You're going to just throw it out and just reel as fast as you can. Just bring it right across the surface. You're pushing that first, top of the surface down to about 4 or 5 feet down. Just kind of a steady reel, fast. Some people like to twitch it and do all that, can totally do that, but typically I have my best luck when I cast it out and I just reel it straight in. That's how you get the barracuda, the bass, barracuda, bonita, and the mackerel, more of those pelagic species. They like it moving quick. They're going to chase it. It's just dropping slow. They may take it, but they want to see it moving. So just keep that in mind. The other thing I was talking about is fishing the mid-level water, which would be, you know, right in the center here. Typically what I'll do is I'll cast it out, I'll let it sink down to the bottom so it hits the bottom, and then I'll just kind of straight line, kind of medium speed. And what that'll do, it'll start at the bottom and it'll actually bring it up like this through the surface level. As you wind it in, it'll get higher and higher and higher up. So you're covering that whole volume of water from bottom to the top. The other thing, last little bit here, is when you're fishing docks. Sometimes those calicos especially, I think in that calico video, if you watch that, they sit right underneath these docks, right under them. There's a lot of structures, mussels and different types of seaweed and grass growing on these docks underneath. It's a little ecosystem in there. So those calicos especially like to sit right underneath it, just kind of high and tight in there, and they wait and they'll ambush stuff that's coming out. So when you're casting to that, I like to be close to the dock when I'm fishing docks so that I can flip it out, have it land, you know, right here next to the dock and just go down. And usually if I don't get bit within that first 2 or 3 feet, I'm going to reel it in, I'm going to throw it out there again. You can fish along the side of the docks or right off the end. A lot of times you get to a dock that has a piling sticking up. If the piling's not too far back, cast right at that piling, right at the dock, and just let it drop straight down. You have a great chance of getting a fish that way. They love that type of structure. So just a couple things, and probably last but not least, if you're just going to fish the bottom with these, it's just a matter of casting it out, let it just drop straight. I again like to leave the bail open so it goes straight down. I close the bail, and when I'm reeling it in, I'm just using a jerk motion so that it's kind of bouncing off the bottom like this. You want to imagine it hopping, but staying on the bottom, but hopping up and stopping, hop and stop, while you're just kind of slowly reeling and bouncing it in. Okay. Those are the techniques I like to use with that lure. That's why it's so versatile. That's why it's my favorite. Again, it's a 1/4 ounce lead head. I use anywhere from 6 to 10 pound line on my reels. You could use spinning or bait casting. I like the spinning reels when I'm doing a straight drop down one though, because it's easier to leave the bail open and the line will go out a lot quicker. If you're using a bait caster, sometimes you have to pull line to make it go straight down. So that's something to keep in mind. But other than that, if you guys have any other questions, you know, hopefully this was helpful. And I'm just trying to give you guys some more content here, some helpful tips to help you catch more fish. Again, thanks everybody for subscribing and supporting the channel. And I should have another fishing video coming up here pretty soon. So you guys have a great day and tight lines out there.